Hey guys, it's Coach Haigler. I'm here with
Miss Haigler.
And we are filming a driving video, but please understand this is truly how Miss Haigler drives every day. And before we've gotten on the road, her gas tank is full. So I hope you enjoy. All right, guys, here we go. Driving video, take one. We're waiting to pull out of the parking lot. Miss Haigler's checking her mirror, her blind spot. On the assumption she has her seatbelt on. If you have your seatbelt on, tap your brake lights. Seatbelt is affirmative. We are on South Main Street where the speed limit is 35 mile an hour. We're 35, we're good. Now we've talked about in class with maintaining following distance, and we will here in just a minute show you how to calculate following distance, and those following distance change with your speed limit. The faster you are going, the more following distance you want to give you time to react, apply the brakes, and avoid a potential accident. We're going to merge onto 220 South. We are in a right turn lane, which means you have to use your turn signal even though you're in a turn lane. Now we are going to look at merging traffic. When you start to merge, we're going to check blind spot, side view mirror, put on our turn signal, change lanes into the closest lane to us. Question for you kids, on 220, what is the speed limit? As Miss Haigler hits her brakes. Now, when we exit 220 right here at the 40 interchange, we want to put our turn signals on at least 4 seconds prior to making our turn. So a good rule of thumb for you guys when you're coming down 220 is to hit your turn signal as soon as you hit this bridge going over the railroad crossing. That's going to give you about a 4-second window before you start to exit. You know you're going to have to slow down, especially with this exit because it's a sharp turn. So go ahead and start slowing down when you come across the bridges. At this stoplight, we can turn right on red once traffic is clear, but we have to come to a complete stop. We cannot slow down and roll through even if there's no traffic coming. Pedestrian crossing, if you're stuck right here at this red light, you cannot block the pedestrian crossing. Green light, we're going to get into the lane closest to us. We can change lanes. I'm going to go ahead and get over. As we wait for Miss Haigler to get over, she makes an illegal lane change. Cannot change lanes going through an intersection. That's why you have the solid white line just before and immediately after you go through a stoplight. She did signal, which was right, but it's still an improper lane change, which is a ticketable violation. We're going to make a left. We have a green arrow. Now we're going to start to make our way toward Franklin Heights, where we'll show you a couple different scenarios with some four-way intersections, how to navigate right-of-way, who has right-of-way first. We had just gotten to right-of-way in class before COVID-19 took over. So we'll get right away. Right there you saw Miss Haigler come to a complete stop. She did not have a stop sign. Traffic was not coming, so she could have made the left turn without stopping. That's how you cause rear end collisions. Luckily, I was paying attention, because it would have been really bad to video an accident, plus it's my wife's vehicle. All right, four-way intersection. We're going to come to a complete stop. Miss Haigler is going to make a right, and we're going to meet her on the next intersection, and we'll talk a little bit about right-of-way. As we're going through here, a couple things for you guys to think about, some potential hazards or dangers that you might encounter in a residential area or a neighborhood. We talk about this in class. We've got a lot of houses here. Some of the driveways are blocked with trees. People could be backing out, pulling out. Also, kids playing. The story I like to tell you guys in class, that if you're driving through a neighborhood and you see a basketball come across the road or a soccer ball, there's a very good chance a kid is going to be following that basketball. So you've got to make sure that you're constantly scanning back and forth, getting ready for a potential kid running across the road. All right, Miss Haigler is going to enter from stage right, four-way intersection. I was here first, so I get right of way. She must wait on me. Hey, girl. She's going to make a left, and I'm going to try to scoot through Franklin Heights and meet back at the first four-way intersection so we can talk about opposing traffic. Actually, I'm going to pull in right up here and turn around so that we will meet going in opposite directions. So now I'm headed back into Franklin Heights, speed limit 25, residential neighborhood. First stop sign. This is a three-way intersection. The white line on the ground right in front of us, guys, is the stop line. You must stop at or behind that stop line. Make sure that you stop. That is one thing that we will look for when we do behind the wheel with you. Is that you come to a complete stop. All right, coming up on the four-way intersection, now we are opposing traffic. I'm going to signal to make a left turn. Both of us will arrive here about the same time. Right of way, we come to a complete stop. I've got to cross traffic to make my turn, therefore the car in front of me or across the intersection from me has right of way. So in this case, I will let Miss Haigler go across the intersection, wave to my bride. I will make a left. I have to cross traffic. So the opposing traffic goes first. We're going to loop back around one more scenario. We'll come to the intersection, opposing traffic again. And we'll make the simulation where we both will make a right turn. At which case, it does not matter who goes first, because we are turning opposite of each other and away from each other. So we could go at the same time, or we could wait. And I may have to wait a second for Miss Haigler to get turned around. I've got the video stopped. I'll wait on you to come down the road. We're back in action. Last scenario for the four-way stop is we will both arrive at roughly the same time. We're both going to make a right turn. We both have right of way, so it doesn't matter who goes first, we can go together. This little intersection right here, guys, in Franklin Heights is a little bit tough to navigate. We like to bring kids up here for behind the wheel. If you notice, let me back up just a little bit so you can see the stop sign. If you notice the stop sign right here, it is back away from the main road. So what we want you to do is to get to the stop sign, make sure you come to a complete stop, and then creep up slowly so that you can see beyond this driveway on the left and somewhat over the hill on the right, and then we can make our turn. I'm going to make my way back to the three-way stop, try to catch up with Miss Haigler. We've got a couple of things on 220 that we're going to show you from a lane change perspective and passing a vehicle or getting past. And also, people like to linger in the left lane, sometimes impede traffic, but as long as they're going 55 miles an hour or the posted speed limit, it doesn't matter. But common courtesy is that you stay in the right lane unless you are passing a vehicle. Go ahead, Miss Haigler. I need to get behind you. All right, we're going to get up here, guys. We're going to get on 220. She's got two options up here. If you're coming out of Franklin Heights toward the middle school, you can either go down the on-ramp, or she can take a right up here where the white car just pulled up and go to the stop sign. We're going to merge again. We're going to go 220 north. Once we get on 220, I'm going to show you guys from my perspective of passing a vehicle, and then we're going to let her pass us so you can see it from the perspective of getting past. All right, to pass a vehicle, I'm going to put my turn signal on, my left signal, check side view mirror, blind spot, make a lane change. Now, with passing a vehicle, you cannot break the speed limit to pass a vehicle. Once I get past her and I can see the vehicle, I'm going to put my right signal on, check side mirror, blind spot, and then get back over in my original lane. Now, at this point, Ms. Haigler is going to pass us. She wants to get over. Once she has the front of my vehicle plenty cleared, she makes the lane change and gets back over in her original lane. Now what I want to show you is people that just ride in the left lane. Sometimes you'll get folks that like to ride in this left lane. They will slow down traffic. The left lane is designated to passing other cars. So if you're not passing a car, then stay in the right lane. Let other people go around you so they can get on down the road. Last thing I want to show you guys on 220, we'll get down here, we'll cross the bridge. So when we start going up the hill, we're going to make a U-turn. You've got various places along 220 where you can go from the northbound side to the southbound or vice versa, or you have to cross over to a side road. So what we're going to do, as soon as we cross the bridge, we're going to go ahead and put our turn signals on, a left turn signal, and we're going to make a U-turn at the crossover. Which this might be a little bit tricky with construction. We'll go on up to the top of the hill and we'll make a U-turn at the top of the hill. We'll go to the next one. Now, one thing when you guys have to cross over 220 or a 4-lane road like this, in your crossover sections, you want to pull to the opposite side of the turnoff away from you. That way you can see oncoming traffic. You do not stop in the middle. You don't stop on the end closest to you. pull around to the opposite side. Any oncoming traffic that has to make a turn or a U-turn here, they can look, they will pull around you so that they can see oncoming traffic. And I'll show you right here what I'm talking about. We want to pull all the way to this side before I stop. That way I can see any oncoming traffic unimpeded. That traffic that has to make a U-turn can go to the other side of where I am and see oncoming traffic coming to them. Now this is going to be pretty good coming down the hill because we've got some construction area. So we want to go ahead and get in the left lane. And you see the sign right here says lane ends merge left. So we're going to go ahead and get in our left lane. Now what Ms. Haigler is showing you is people will drive all the way down to where they have to get over, and then at the last second they try to cut into traffic or have to jerk the wheel to get over, and that will cause a wreck very, very easily. So anytime you see those signs, if it says merge left or left lane closed, keep right, go ahead and get over. Give yourself plenty of room, but also when you get over, you've got to watch out for those folks that ride all the way to the end before they shoot over. So we've got to be careful. We get through this little construction area, we're going to go ahead and get back in the right lane. Right signal, and keep your turn signal on until the lane change or the turn is complete. Another sign, especially on 220 through here, you guys will see a lot, is the flashing lights right here with the trucks entering highway. You got the truck stop right up here on the right. Sometimes it's hard for those guys to see over this knoll, and they may think it's clear and start to pull out, and all of a sudden you top the knoll. So just something to be careful, be mindful of when you're coming down through here, because those big trucks, they do not give. We are going to exit right on this first Rocky Mount exit and head back to where we started. Just like we did before, we want to use our signal about 4 seconds prior to the turn. Coming this way, getting off at the middle school, a good landmark is the first blue sign right here. If we go ahead and hit our signal, that's going to be about 4 seconds before we actually start to get off at 220. If you'll notice the pavement markings as we get off of this exit, the left line right here is a solid white line. We cannot change lanes. We cannot get over. We've got traffic coming in either off of 220 or out of Franklin Heights. So we've got to stay in this right lane. Stay in that right lane to avoid any type of side swipe or rubbing racing moment. We get one example of an improper lane change coming through here where Miss Haigler just going to look, knock signal, but still change lanes. That's an illegal lane change. You must use your turn signal anytime you change direction with your vehicle, minus going around a sharp curve or another curve on a rural road or an interstate. Anytime you change positions or make a turn, you have to use a turn signal. Even if you are in a left turn or a right turn only scenario, you still must use your turn signal. Oh God, I got that on camera. Yes, we are leaving that in there. Oh, she is so embarrassed right now. That was awesome.